Yeah, yeah, of course. Holy tits. My cat got out for a second for some reason. He's like, hey, what's cool? What is this? What is this, Tyler? You don't know the meme? Are you not aware of the meme? I need to show the meme. This is like the funniest. I don't know why, but when I read this, howdy. When I read this, what is it? When I see this meme, when I read this meme, when I read people that just like repeat this in the comments, it is the funniest shit.
Y'all like bodybuilders?
Oh yeah? Bodybuilders?
Yeah.
I like skinny, scrawny guys.
How about multi-millionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? How about talented? How about loving and respectful? How about my wife 10 weeks ago? 21 years faithful. My daughter committed suicide 3 weeks ago.
Oh shit.
13. She was faster than me at 12, and I run a 6-minute mile. My testimony, I'm nothing but pure, and I ask you if you want to be in the YouTube channel. And you like scrawny guys.
I know he trauma dump on us like that. Damn.
How about multi-millionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? Dude, why do people have the need? I don't know. This might backfire on me one day. But straight up, I hate people that interview. I hate YouTube interview. People that do street interviews, fuck them. Absolute cancer. They're like the most annoying people. Like if someone approached me and just started asking questions, I would say I would do this. I would start playing Disney music so they have to re-record because they will get a copyright strike immediately especially if they're throwing it on YouTube. I will immediately start playing anything that I know will get an immediate copyright strike. I'm talking about and it will annoy them. I'll like start answering their questions, like I'll swear, which you can block out, but you have to do a little bit more work. You have to edit a little bit more. I know you are, but what am I? How about multi-millionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? Yo, I won! Victory! Based! Motherfucker just came and the mic in your mouth. Motherfucker just come and the mic in your mouth. Yeah. Yeah, like for real, they just come up to you and just start asking you them, and it's not even good questioning. Like if it was good questioning, I would probably be less annoyed. But it's literally fucking retards being like, "What's your body count? Tall guys or sick? Does height matter?" It's like this is like fucking fifth. This is like a middle school fucking conversation. I'd rather hear fart jokes. Like, I'd rather hear middle schoolers talk about farts. Oh man, that sounds weird. I would rather hear fart jokes than fucking some retard asking fifth grade level questioning. Ryan, you don't have a wife or a girlfriend. Don't lie. You're a Mint Linux user. If it had to be the rank of who gets the least amount of bussy, it'd be Linux Mint users. Height's apparently it's a problem to be like, I like tall dudes. I think I am 5'6". I'm 5'0". Yeah. It's. I don't think people nearly care about his height as much. To be completely honest, but if they do, who cares? It's a preference. If you are, there's nothing wrong with fart jokes. Fart jokes are funny. I love them. But if this is, I mean, if all you care about is height, it is kind of weird. But it's not like any weirder than guys that are like, I want jacked mommies or something. I don't think it's bad to have a preference. You're a loser just like me. I mean, Mint is more playable than Magic the Gathering. Hell no. There's finally hot women in Magic. Linux Mint is for old people. What up, Wyclap? I'm based. I installed Gen 2. With the help. All I know is right now is I can't play Doom and stream. Damn it. I could have killed him. Damn. I'm investigating sandbox utilities in Linux. Never mind. He's the virgin. No, the new one. The Dark Ages. I don't know, it's something... My, some with my... I don't think my GPU has enough, memory. Okay, buddy. Guess what country watch more gay porn? India. I'm already aware. I'm on the internet, man. I'm chronically online. No, wait, it's not India. It's, Pakistan or something. Mini jail seems interesting. Is it Rust based? It's not then. I no longer am interested. I use bubble wrap, but I'll test it soon. I want to see what this is. How about 8 inches in thick though? It's Pakistan, that's what it is. Yeah. Who are you talking to? You have a dog or a cat? I have a cat. He's funny. I do love him. What's it called? Mini jail? Mini jail is sandboxing and containment tool in Chrome OS and Android. It provides an executable executable that can be used to launch sandbox other programs, and library that can be used by code to sandbox itself. Oh, nice. Based. I can put this in Gen 2, guys, on Cubes OS. I'll have layer 5 sandboxing. Oh. Repo. Very cool. Use the package on my mainly Linux distro. It's cool. Cool concept. I like when it's short to the point. I wonder if I can test it out and if it'll be effective. They said they shot down 5 Indian jets in the interview as of proof what they said all over. So, oh my god, that's so funny. Mini jail? Interesting. I'll have to check it out. Sounds cool. Launched a few applications with it. Gvisor, another one. I did to get to test it. Oh, nice. Gvisor looks cool. I actually hope that Linux in general just adopts it. So Danger Zone. Ryan likes Tux Racer because he has no real gaming skills either. Yo, just got a shit hand. Nice. I'm trying to think of the most insecure game. What's that one software that's constantly homing, knowing that it knows that it doesn't exist? I think is it Vulkan? Not Vulkan. It's not Vulkan. Valorant? It's something. It's one of these anti-cheat. Oh, nice. There was it's legal. It's used in League of Legends. Not Valorant. It's like something it's something for anti-cheat. You have to have it. Vanguard, that's what it is. Yeah, Vanguard. Yeah, fuck that. It won't launch the game if it does. And game developers, other game developers said that you do not need this. There's other ways. No, I know about Riot. No. Yeah. I'm only saying no because Ryan asked, but if Wyclef asked, I'd say yes, just to make Ryan mad. Ryan's probably just horny or something. Damn. Guess. I guess, motherfucker. I guess, mother trucker. I mean, damn it. I need one more land. Ryan is acting up today. True. It's probably because he just turned 42 or something. There's Hentai OS, by the way. Damn it. I'm gonna Sentin Force 1 so Ryan don't act up. I don't know what that means. I do the Sony phone. No. Not a virgin. You know what's funny too is posers. Oh no, Ryan's gonna come out with like I used to have a Commodore 64. Because he was there when BASIC was pretty much probably invented. Okay, Grandpa. Oh, I lost. What is the Linux memes? Do they exist? Oh my god.
Give me a systems display.
Now we've lost section 26.
So he's double pissed off? Yeah, because he's old. He's 500 years old. I'll give Ryan a Poco with Linux. Poco phones are great.
The difference between an amateur and a professional is you write your own compiler, okay? You can download my 2 meg distribution that has all the source code on it, and you can compile with my
This is Ryan.
compiler.
Give me a systems display.
Yeah, right here. That Terry Davis moment.
The difference between an amateur and a professional is you write your own compiler, okay?
Have you written your own compiler yet, Ryan?
You can download my 2 meg distribution that has all the source code on it, and you can compile with my fucking compiler.
Give me a systems display.
Linux users installing web browser. This is true. Hey guys, he's compiling Gen 2. I want to know how you got 4 monitors working. 5 monitors working. Must not be yet used flags on Gen 2 Linux explain. No kisses on the back of the neck for you.
What's going on, everybody?
Gen 2 mentioned. I love staring at Linux memes. They're always so funny. Full-time in Joker on Nubra. Gaming on Linux, episode 54. Oh, nice. A person that games on Linux. I don't know why this person is sitting by themselves. I mean, I want to send him some patches to sec. Oh. Not the Clang call. Not the CTG call. I use Clang, by the way. I lied. I don't use Linux, just Windows XP. I might be done, but I don't think TCC might be... I don't think TCC might not be maintained. Oh, GCC? It'd be funny. I lied. I don't use Linux. I just use Windows XP. Average Windows XP enjoyer. Why I use Linux? Why does this have 1.2 million views? Who's Mike? Average Windows Apple fan versus average Linux enjoyer. I used a LibreBoot to Libre Gen 2 install. I'm lying. Oh, this is false. 8 inches long only. Can man? Yeah. And thick. 8 inches and thick. I like finding a really strange Linux TCC tiny C compiler. I like finding very strange obscured YouTube channels. Like they've been on YouTube for like 15 years and they only have like 400 subs or like 2 subs or something, and they daily they post Canna, not can. I can't read. My bad. Cannaman. What does thick mean exactly? Peas. Canned peas. Oh, canned peas. Nice. I always, I'm like, how do you find, like, how do you find obscured channels? So sometimes I'll type and then I'll filter and I'll be like, upload date. Nothing. Relevance. And I'll look for something that's like super old, like pair of canned geese. Why did that come up? And then if it's got 455 views,
Bernard, what's the name of
this fucking guy's guy. Quickly, Wyclef, give me an SE Linux command. I just need one. YCClep get 87. Give me a SE Linux command, and I want to see if it'll lead me down some random YouTube channel. Until you do Linux commands. Linux memes. Oh. This is awesome. I just watched rewatched Borat. Borat was really funny.
What a nice morning.
This is legendary. C sent 10 force 0.
One of these. Watch out for this.
Sometimes when I'm like using Linux and something bad happens, like, and it's like such a bitch. Nice. I mean, not disables it, but sets it to permissive. I'm like, God, I fucking hate this. I hate it so much. And then it, like, I fix it. I'm like, I'm good.
What a nice morning.
It's such a peak meme. True. Wait, let's see. He's using 840 megabytes of 7.6 gigs of RAM. Gentoo mentioned, Void mentioned. The problem is, even using 804 megabytes of RAM, that's bloat. Like, pretty bad. This Linux user isn't, he's not truly optimized. He's not locked in. He could definitely cut that in half. You can actually optimize Windows too. I mean, Windows is pretty fucking bloated, but 804 bloated for real. Oh, I love this one.
It's bad. Don't worry, dude.
I truly love this meme.
Keyboard.
I wanted to go find this episode, but I forgot it to.
What the error 220? Let's fix.
I'm definitely getting a fucking copyright strike. Me when I'm trying to just update my packages. Jen locked in the Linux users don't use Linux.
Day 1 after installing Arch Linux.
Yeah, locked in Linux users don't use Linux.
Day 1 after installing Arch Linux.
Even his anger didn't make him a bad person. Okay.
I firmly believe that as a computer toucher, there is such a thing.
No, God. There's no hate, but I do not. I don't like watching this guy anymore. He kind of sucks.
All right, we're back with another.
I love this guy too.
Review. This one's Axe, Sneakers, and Cookies.
All right, we're not gonna watch people's actual content that makes money. Be a leech. Linux stolen Linux memes is completely fine to steal from other people because they're 99.90% of these short channels, they're just fucking finding this shit on the internet and they're just repurposing it. Oh man. Linux users be like,
hey guys, and welcome to top 3 reasons why Linux is better. Reason number 1. This is what real updating looks like.
he's right though. If you update via the GUI, you suck. Updating in the command line's faster. Just hotkey your terminal. Update. I mean,
reason number 2.
Why is this a website? The LoneStarPC.com?
Everything is dark mode.
Everything is dark mode.
Start menu, dark mode. Settings is dark mode.
True.
Reason number 3. The government can't track you on Linux.
All right.
See? Bonus reason. Games are so easy to install on Linux. You just use
When Linux users meet Windows 10 by bug writers. When Linux users meet Windows 10 by bug writers. For real.
summary through the one. Join us next week.
Okay. Maybe this guy doesn't fucking actually use Linux. Oh, they build computers? I don't think, I don't know. Oh. Maybe that's their kid. Or maybe those are the people that do it? I don't know.
Hey guys.
It's not obscure enough. Hold on. I need to type in this. Will this give me anything? CET? 40. Okay. Amazon Linux. Oh, wow. SE Linux Android chip. Wow, dude. Oh, it's a video title. I can't fucking read. Look at what this does. It leads me. Last week with AWS, 5 months ago, 8 views. SE Linux Android terminal emulator. Based. 5 years ago. Why do these weird channels always have like a very interesting amount of subscribers too? Like 1,000 people are like, hey, let's hope he makes it. SE Linux explain configuration command. Wow. Cyber Connect. I did zoink a giant doinkies. Wow. YouTube really understands. This is because Android uses SE Linux. Yeah, of course, but it's like, wow, YouTube really understands his people. How to make SE Linux permissively easy on Android. Wow. Very, very interesting. Let me see. Let's do under the potato when I went to the store last month. 46. What would that bring up? How to store potatoes so they last longer. Interesting. Wow. Based. That's what they got that. Stop smoking and start hardening. No, never. I like freedom, man. Free and open source. Security is why am I getting all these storage potatoes? I said store. Grow this, not this. Watch this before you plant potatoes. I do kind of hate how YouTube has become kind of like a cesspool of people just copying each other. I get it. You got to make the money. You got to adjust. You got to follow the algorithm. It's your daddy now. People are like, I love working for YouTube. I get to be my own boss. No, you don't. You don't have to clock in, but you're enslaved into the algorithm and the adpocalypse, like in the worst kind of way. I'm pretty sure most YouTubers are financially. No, I can't. These are like, why does this have 36 million? These try not to laughs Like these are. Why is this person's face like this? Like, why are they why are they their own banner? I don't get it. And it's just like, don't laugh memes. The thing you're smoking wasn't made out of free and open source materials and wasn't blessed by Richard Stallman. Actually, open THC. Open source solutions for regulatory compliance. Based. How about now, bitch? Is it Richard Stallman approved? No, because it's probably got something proprietary in here. Open source terminal. The OpenTHC point of sale has a built-in loyalty program. They're hosted on GitHub. They have a Docker version. Seed to sale. Grow, process, package, analyze. Yeah. What now, man? What now? Yeah, I just don't get these. You didn't use this? I didn't, but I'm just saying it exists. Marinara sauce can be open source. And you don't know that. I don't get the don't laugh shit. I mean, you're just finding like memes and you're laughing at them. I guess in compilation, and people are just like, I like memes, but I don't know if I could just upload just me laughing at memes or whatever. Dark? It's the word dark. I look up the word dark and it's just like Doom. Performance review. That's a good band. That's a good band too. Is Doom Dark Ages worth buying? Well, Tika. Why? I just put in the word dark and it's just giving me Doom shit. Dark Season 1. Can we do some public Graphene OS coverage? Yeah. Scary advice. Most people suggest F-Droid and Aurora. Yeah, I mean, Graphene OS isn't. I think they're on Knitter. I got to be careful with that word though. What an unfortunate name. Let's see, anything new? 12 hours ago. I forget how they post. I don't know if they post, I think they post from bottom to up. Or that's how the internet does it. Advanced protection, Google's strongest security for mobile devices. Similar to iOS lockdown mode, Android 16's advanced protection feature is misguided. It adds secure features exclusive to which it all requires the other feature, using all other features. This prevents people from using new secure features if they need to avoid one feature. Wow, interesting. So we're going to start reading on this. Most of the features already exist. The new ones are cloud-based intrusion logging, inactivity reboot, hardwired to 72 hours, a new mode of USB protection, and disabling auto connect to a small subset of insecure Wi-Fi networks. Production MTE supports all this. Essentially, they have a social media management team. I figured you would have to. Posting is super hard. I mean, they have Graphene OS isn't only run by Daniel. Okay, no, I know that. I'm aware that they've probably accumulated enough. They have like a 50-layer team. It's used to one other volunteer, but it isn't. Oh, wait, hold on. It's used to, and the other one, but it isn't like 2019. No, I know. I figured. I think they just post up. I was saying they post upwards. Like, as in, like, the order. Just what an unfortunate name for Knitter. Graphene OS added and locked device auto reboot in July 2021. We proposed to Google for Android in January 2024 as a part of reporting exploitation by forensic data extraction companies. They implemented several other proposals, but not this one until iOS added in 2024. Both Graphene OS and iOS enabled lock device auto reboot by default at 18 and 72 hours respectively. It can be set between 10 minutes and 72 hours on Graphene OS, along with having an opt-out. Putting this behind a feature barely anyone will use makes real-world impact minimal. Advanced protection mode support for the ARM memory tagging extension (MTE), so around the Android 10 era, is misleading. It won't be using it for the kernel. Most of the base OS, or 99.999% of the apps, it will only be enabled for certain base OS components and a tiny minority apps explicitly enabling it. Certain apps like Molly opt into MTE, but it doesn't really do anything since, as far as Android isn't providing any production MTE support, the tiny minority of apps enabling this feature will finally have it on certain devices for 0.001% of using advanced protection. Chrome and Chromium provide a very misleading V8 optimizer toggle, which, contrary to popular belief, does not disable the JIT just-in-time compiler or JIT compiler, and therefore it cannot block dynamic code generation. It's not a default JIT. It is not a default JIT disable like iOS lockdown mode or a default Graphene OS. Chrome's V optimizer toggle starts out as a JIT toggle. However, Chromium's WebAssembly supports currently requires JIT, and they are quickly crippling the setting in an emergency update. Now it's only disabled in the highest 2 tiers of JIT, so a lot of security value is missing. Yeah, Android 16, man. I actually hope that as Android grows, that I'll be able to use desktop mode, but I know it's still going to be kind of a bitch. And I didn't expect it to be as fluent or efficient as Dex is with Samsung. Microsoft implemented a simple WebAssembly interpreter for Microsoft Edge as part of the even Dex has room for improvement. Yeah, Big Chungus, that's funny. Dex has definitely room for improvement. It's not really a used feature that people care about unless you're like super weird or a power user or whatever. But it's really bad. Like it pretty much non-working. But I get that it's not super important. Ryan disappeared. Ryan's probably still here. He's just, in the back gooning. Or he's biking. Or he's doing both. Or he's drinking, biking, and gooning. Us talking. Pictures of Richard Stallman's feet. Oh, I remember this. Oh no. No funny meme. Deep. I ordered pizza from the dark web. We gotta look at that in a minute. I love people that say they do shit on the dark web and I don't think they do. YouTube channels are like literally the most cancerous thing to the dark web. They need each other to a certain degree. They work together. Does one rely more on the other one? Sure, but I don't think it's an equal partnership. But I think they need each other. Personally. Microsoft submitted their WebAssembly interpreter to Chromium and it got merged after a long time. Chromium doesn't use it, maintains it, or test it. Well, since they are maintaining or testing it, other Chromium-based browsers can't use this feature without taking on the responsibility of maintaining it. Google could easily start maintaining and fix the memory misleading V8 optimizer toggle, but so far as it hasn't, dude. Sub you. What's up, Verterflix? It's entirely possible to provide a new security features standalone and a group of them together in a mode enabling all of them. But with this option, it disables certain features that could show up as a warning and the mode isn't fully enabled instead of copied iOS. That would be funny. GNU would shit themselves. Kind of. I think they'd figure something out. I still think they need each other to a certain degree, but you know, since there are maintainers or testing at other Chromium-based projects, it's entirely. Apple chose a poor design for their lockdown iOS due to the aversion to adding settings. There's little reason for Android to copy this. Android already has the most features as a standalone option. Gatekeeping features behind a badly designed Apple approach makes little sense. Part of enabling Android's advanced protection feature is disallowing users from installing apps outside the Play Store. Fair. Broken heart. This can certainly be bypassed using the Android debug bridge via developer option, but that's awful for security, and they'll likely crack down on it too. Apps coming from the Play Store doesn't make them trustworthy, safe, or secure. Most malware apps on the Google mobile service device are installed from the Play Store, similar to the Play Integrity API. It's Google reinforcing their monopolies with security is an excuse, which kind of sucks. Google is already blocking competing app stores with their advanced protection program required to properly secure a Google account, but now they're trying to Android device security this. Want proper encrypted security via native reboot, you can't use a competing app store. Google has taken a similar path with extraordinarily anti-competitive Play Integrity API, which disallows using of any hardware or else not licensing Google Mobile Services, GSM. Licensing GSM forces shipping Google apps with in-app invasive access and limits allows change to the OS. Play Store is like 10% malware. I believe it. I still think the Play Store is probably somewhere I would still tell people to get their apps from. I don't think that it's a million times more trustworthy, but a lot, if you download an APK and you really don't know what you're doing, that could be a problem. I think a Crescent is the biggest competitor. A Crescent's going to be the biggest competitor in this once it starts actually working with the app verified and Obtainium. I mean, we'll find other ways, but OEMs licensing GSMs are blocked from including any features in Graphene OS. They obviously can't provide Sandbox Google Play, but less obviously can't provide our storage scope, context scope, sensor toggle, network toggle, much broader, better MT integration by far, and far more. Well, this is actually, I think, why we can't do tap to pay, because it's a safety net issue. This is so cringe. I need to watch these.
I ordered a pizza from the dark web. Let's open it up and see.
Why does everyone use this fucking voice too? It's cringe. Good info. Yeah, it's very good info.
It took a week to arrive. It sounds like pizza.
I couldn't wake up with and live with myself knowing I made this. I couldn't record this, edit it, and put it on the internet. Not even Harambe could beat this kind of information out of me.
This is not a good pizza. What is that? Is that a man balloon? Shall I have a slice? I wonder if it's gluten-free. I don't like these toppings.
Even if it's satire. Ew, this is just bad satire. These motherfuckers probably have never touched Tor or I2P. 100%. You could probably bring up I2P to them and they'd be like, what? What's I2P?
I bought this off the dark web, and even though it looks like a normal wire, it can literally shut the power off to any building. Watch this. 3, 2, 1, go. Yo! But just when I was having fun with this thing, I made a massive mistake. I accidentally shut off all the power to my house. I test this and more right here. I bought...
This motherfucker has 3 million subs. The maker of this is doing it ironically. Wait, what do you mean? Am I being cringe?
I bought this off the dark web, and even though it looks like a normal wire,
the guy that was
literally
making
shut
that
the power off to any building.
Even if he's doing it ironically, it's pretty cringe.
If your pizza delivery comes from the dark,
I bought this off the dark.
Yo, oh my god. There he is. What the hell? He's back. I ordered a creature from the dark web.
There's no way that this person isn't actually doing it. I meant the dark web. Oh, the maker. Oh, I thought you meant this. God, this looks tiring, actually. I mean, million views, million total views, nice. I don't know, man. I couldn't do it. I'd feel sick. after a couple days. Is he trying to sell something like dark web mystery box? I don't know, man.
I ordered a creature from the dark web.
Yeah, that. We ordered pizza from the deep web. Mr. Spook, 4 years ago. Uh-oh. Call the cops. I opened a 666 dark web box and instantly regret it. This guy's cringe. How does he still make videos about the dark web? I tested malware disguised as games. I tested every ghost hunting device. Embarrassing. I tested malware against a smartphone too. 2 months ago. Dark web sellers don't use iPhones. Oh, iPhone from the dark web. Right. What would compel somebody to act like that? Clout. I don't know. I forgot. I came across this guy because of somebody on YouTube. They're like, this guy's cringe. And I'm like, yeah, he is pretty cringe. The thing is, we're at the era, if you call something cringe or make fun of him, the only response that ever happens is like, but they're making money. It's like, okay. You don't know that tier 3-tier list. Like people like this, they remind me of like corporate cringe YouTube that copies people. But, you know, what am I? I'm just some guy on the internet. Testing malware against the smartphones.
In today's video, I'm got
to be careful because this motherfucker, yeah, that's pretty much impossible unless you grant. Yeah. I just want to point out, this motherfucker seems like he's the type of guy that will do a DMCA strike. To an expert, you have to be cringe to make compelling content. To the extent you have to be, yeah, you do. Like all permissions to app, else Android, else, yeah. To an extent you have, yeah, I mean you do, to like a certain degree. Ooh, but it just makes my skin crawl when it's like stuff like this, I guess. But like everyone has like an interesting hobby. Everyone has interesting hobbies where you see other people do them and you're like, ooh, I don't know if that would be me. Movies made sound with light bulb.
Malware against smartphones. Just to summarize this video up, I have a Samsung Galaxy that I'm going to be testing against ransomware. I'm sure you already know what it is, but I'm going to quickly
Samsung Insecure.
Explain it for you guys. A ransomware is a form of malware that essentially encrypts all of your files on your device and demands payment. That's a simple explanation, and without any further
that's not even a simple explanation. That's just the explanation. That is the explanation. Ransomware. It encrypts your drive, and they're getting money out of you. You just explained it. I don't know.
Hesitation, let's go ahead and get this video started. I ended up finding an Android virus that's disguised as an app that'll give you free Instagram followers. The virus weirdly had the official Instagram logo, but the name of the virus was definitely not the official Instagram. A lot of people wonder about it. I've been wondering about it too. It's called Insta Followers. So I started the app and it immediately asked me for admin permissions. Its excuse for wanting these permissions is to prove that I'm not a robot.
Grant access. I have to give it access to what?
I clicked to see what permissions it wanted, and this freaking malware wants to have full control over my device. Allow Insta Followers service to have full control of your phone. Full control is appropriate for apps that help you with
Why clip 87? I'm joking. I'm memeing. I have been educated now. I take back what I said about Samsung.
Needs, but not for most apps if it includes these permissions to view and control my screen.
There are some apps that have these permissions, and it doesn't mean they have actual full control or something. What's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes it's like some of these permissions could be like where it says, "Hey, we have these permissions." It can be somewhat misleading.
View and perform tasks. So for whatever reason, I clicked allow, and the virus completely bamboozled this entire phone. You have been hacked by a Doge? We are Doge. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. I can't even swipe. I can't even do anything. Phone? No matter which app I would try to open, it would automatically close on me in less than a second. It closes out of my internet. What if I open up my text messages? It closes out of my text messages. I couldn't even access that section that had all of my apps. No, I can't even click the back button. Bro, even my camera was having problems.
What if I try clicking the camera? Oh, that's terrible. Oh my god, I can't do anything. Play Store. No, I'm so good.
It was so bad that I couldn't even swipe down from the top of the screen to access my settings.
I can't even swipe down. Where's my settings? Oh my god, this is so messed up. I got my settings. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, this is so bad, dude. I actually don't even know what to do at a time like this. Couldn't add location. Connect to a network.
I genuinely couldn't.
Unless it's Chrome. Permission to edit permissions. Yeah, for real. Unless it's Chrome OS. How this guy's... Has this guy heard of rebooting? I was just thinking that. I was like, can he just reboot and he'll be straight, man?
Use the phone. I had no choice but to restart the phone.
I powered off the phone. The phone's shutting off. Oh my lord, what just happened to this device? Turning it back on again.
The screen recorded ended up stopping, but you can tell from my reaction alone that the phone was super cooked.
No, bro, I had a chance. My phone is cooked.
I ended up factory resetting the Galaxy so I could install the next virus on the phone. I first went into my phone's files to install the virus, and even though it was titled just a bunch of random letters, the name was pretty weird.
Wi-Fi hack RIF.
It asked me if I wanted to install the application, probably a bad idea, but I installed the app and pressed open after it finished installing. Then it opened up a simple Android ransomware attack, and it told me that the app was built for older versions of Android.
This app was built for an older version of Android and may not work properly. I swear this Android update is
Okay, I just want to know something. Why is he explaining something in an over voice and then repeating the same fucking thing? It's like hear this.
Oh, I had a chance. My phone is cooked.
I ended up factory resetting the Galaxy so I could install the next virus on the phone. I first went into my phone's files to install the virus, and even though it was titled just a bunch of random letters, the name was pretty weird.
Wi-Fi hack RIF.
It asked me if I wanted to install the application, probably a bad idea, but I installed the app and pressed open after it finished installing. Then it opened up a simple Android ransomware attack, and it told me that the app was built for older versions of Android.
This app was built for an older version of Android and may not work properly. I swear this Android update is absolutely screwing all these viruses.
He has an overview of explaining it, and then he just explains it. And it is subfarming. This is where retards get their information from. Look, I knew Android in itself was secure. I just had a relatively deep rabbit hole where I take it back, thought that all right, Samsung's security is probably dog shit. It's very bad. And I was wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. This isn't okay. This is crazy. I don't know if I can watch 20 minutes. Why is this 19 minutes, by the way? And now he is trying to use an old Android, trying to use old Android malware.
And I went back to my home screen. And then the ransomware completely encrypted this Samsung phone.
Anwar Squadra. And a bunch of Arabic letters. I don't know what it says, 1:08 p.m. It's not 1:08 p.m. right now, I'll tell you that. But this reminds me of Sarah, the simple Android ransomware attack where, well, you have to type in a code here.
I can't really read Arabic or Russian, but I'm assuming it's a description of what just happened to my phone. I tried to decrypt the entire phone from the ransomware by typing in random numbers, hoping that I can find the key, but unfortunately, they were all incorrect.
I just want to know why this is 19 minutes. When he's explaining two things, over voicing, he's using his voice over, an overlay voice, whatever, a voiceover. He's using a voiceover, and he's talking, and he's kind of explaining the same fucking thing. How to stretch out something for 20 minutes.
Correct.
101, guys. Okay. We're learning. This is how I'm going to... My YouTube channel is now going to be transformed. I'm going to now do fake Android malware. I'll be like, Graphene OS compromised. And I will... I'll have a voiceover explaining something, and then I'll explain it with my regular voice so I can hit the 20-minute mark and get the extra dolans. Why is there USB debugging?
Nox, I don't know what this says. Oh my god, is this
a good question?
Oh my god, I can type unlimited files. It's only numbers. I can't open up any app.
These sound effects, though, are fucking wild.
On the bottom, I only can interact with this.
I tried swiping left on that thing on the top right of the screen, and I thought it actually worked for a moment, but I would open up YouTube, and the ransomware would ultimately overthrow the screen. And even using the phone in split screen would cause this message to appear.
Oh, my phone is lagging like crazy. I can't do anything. I only can type on here.
It actually wouldn't let me click on anything on the screen, so I started getting frustrated. I finally had...
We don't really know if he's clicking on the screen. You can have an Android emulator He could just be emulating all
enough
this.
of the simple ransomware and decided to close it up.
Get rid of the virus?
To do that, I had to swipe down from the top of the phone, click on settings, and then when my settings would open, it would actually isolate the simple Android ransomware attack away from the front of the screen. Now, I finally have the ability to touch the screen again.
It goes away.
So now that I'm in my settings and that I can touch my screen, I scrolled down to my installed apps, found the Wi-Fi virus app that I installed, clicked on it, and then proceeded to delete the ransomware off of my Android.
We're gonna go ahead and uninstall. If you want to uninstall this app, let's go ahead and click yes. That is gone. The Wi-Fi hack RIF is gone. That was pretty easy.
The "you are an idiot" virus. The weird part was that I had no idea that this was
Why does this exist? Why is his name Crypto NWO? Was he like I think that he did. I can't watch that anymore. Like I'm about to start seething.
I already destroyed 100.
I believe this was. I thought he was like buying something with crypto. Dark storage. Jesus Christ, these thumbnails. These are terrible. Never mind, I take it back. YouTube before this. YouTube 6 years ago wasn't peak. I was talking about it earlier. I was like, YouTube 6 years ago was pretty peak. No, I lied. It's pretty bad. Dangers of tile getting tracked. It's not really a fucking very sketchy 911 calls. Top 10 scariest items from the darknet. What if it's like just pictures of Richard Stallman? But like naked. I download a virus off the dark web. Me when I nut. I get sick on camera. Grossest dark web box ever. Didn't this guy try selling these? Like he sold like darknet market boxes or something? Scariest Randicon experience ever? What? Most shocking random? I don't know what the fuck that is. My chat with a dark web stranger. This app can hear you. This guy's probably didn't touch Tor till this year. Dude, leave him alone. This app can hear you. I played Randonautica in my city, Windsor. But this is like a part of I guess the problem is people still think that your phone is listening to you. And they get their information from channels like this. Because they're over edited. Stop doing that thing. What thing? I'm fucking lagging. Stop doing that thing. I laundered money on the dark web. Don't do this. What a weird fucking members only video. I can hear you too. Oh, are you talking about the leg bounce? No. Your phone can do better than hear you. Your phone can't listen to you. Don't be retarded. How I hacked into a dark web wallet. And first off, phones don't need to process, they don't need to listen to you to fucking track you. Like in terms of like fingerprinting, it does not need to be done. Like I think like after I really I've never really thought your phone could have the ability to listen to you. It doesn't make sense. Oh my god, who is that one girl? This guy will confront Content Farm I2P as soon as he hears about it. Jesus Christ, no. That'd be terrible. All right. Enough of this incel.
I already destroyed 100 computers with computer viruses.
Allegedly. This guy will upload some video like the darkest of the dark web or some shit. Yeah, for real.
In today's video,
it has a mic. Yeah, just because it has, how does it know I say, okay, Google? Because you're giving a command. You can just cut off the mic via software. Your phone isn't listening to you. It's not like actively listening to you. It's not listening to you in the background. This has been tested. People have tested this before. They like it. And again, it wouldn't make any sense and or need to happen to fingerprint you. There's so much identifiable information leaking from you and terrible OPSEC that it's not necessary. First off, also, how if it was quote unquote listening to you, where's the audio stored? Where's it going? Who's processing it? Who is listening? You know what I mean? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself. And if you think it's some ad agency that they're just processing millions and millions and millions and millions of data points via voice, that'd be very easy to figure out. And again, so it only kicks in when I say, here's OK Google. You're allowing a specific permission while doing OK Google. Yeah. It's like specified. And you can reject this. You can just cut off your microphone. Not literally, but with software. And as long as your phone isn't compromised or your software, like the underlying OS, it's going to obey the command and the permission that has been set. It can't break it. And if it does break it, that means it's been being exploited. It's being exploited. You have way more to worry about. This is why I emphasize on people take like a very small amount of information and they do overestimate their ability to understand it. Like this happened with Apple. Last year, there was a really misleading article. There are other vectors for fingerprinting than just this. Yeah, 100%. You literally, that's the easiest way to explain it. There's so many easier ways too, by the way, cheaper and easier ways to fingerprint people that this is not even a concern. This shouldn't even be a concern. And if it is, don't just, all you do is, if you want to physically neuter your microphone, sure, you're just going to be very annoying. When we were talking about is not even a fingerprinting factor. Yeah, sure. I mean, I know it's not a fingerprinting factor. I'm just saying, like, but that's what people generally think it is. They think it's a way to track them and sell them stuff, etc., etc. They see ads after they talked about something. This is called the frequent. To clarify, I don't think somebody is talking or storing that data. I would hope not, but this is a common misconception that people do have. And it is a problem because it misleads people to care about the wrong thing. Like if you actively want to thwart or fight against fingerprinting, this should be the last thing you should care about. Unless you have a high threat model where this might matter and you don't trust your device, you could physically neuter the microphone. You're just going to be it's going to be very annoying to get a hold of you. Can't talk on it. I believe you would have to use an external mic in order to use it. But they could if compromised, like Edward Snowden would want to tear out his mic. Edward Snowden's threat model is nation state security. No shit. He can't trust anything. Just because people always it's funny, people bring up Edward Snowden like, they're like, Edward Snowden does it. Well, no shit. Edward Snowden's threat model is crazy. Yep, and it does a lot more than just listen to you. Edward Snowden does tear out his mic and can from his phone. Yep, and it does a lot more than just listen to you. You don't need your phone to listen to you, like, at all. He can't, yeah, of course he can't trust anything. Like, if a device was compromised, he would assume the firmware would also be compromised, so he would get a completely new, yeah. You can't be the schizoid. You can't compare your threat model. No, I know. You really can't. People that do compare themselves to Edward Snowden's threat model because it can fingerprint you in other ways. Yeah, but your device can fingerprint you in other ways. Fingerprinting is a very complex, very difficult thing to actually thwart. People have different, what do you call it? Hold on. Matrix music in the background. Is there no copyright Matrix music in the background? No? Oh, okay. That's fine. So, What if I told you I'm not Wyclef Snowden? Fingerprinting is a very complex thing that can be, I mean, there is literally ways to probably fingerprint you with, I'm not comparing myself to it. I'm just saying it's possible in extended circumstance. Sure. But those types of vulnerabilities and compromises aren't being used on everyday people. If it exists, you could just cash in on the millions of dollars that these companies are paying out. And no, I mean, even if you're not comparing yourself, when people even bring him up, it's like you're insinuating because he does something. Fingerprinting is very complex. Yeah, you are insinuating. It is insinuating that because he does this, that it can happen. Edward Snowden should take the approach that everything is compromised. Even if it's not, it would be a waste of time to a certain degree, but he should take they can fingerprint your res, your user agent, your platform, other things that leak through JavaScript, however browser performs. They can fingerprint you through CSS. There's been people that have fingerprinted purely through CSS, even though it's not considered a fingerprintable thing. The thing happens that only in Chromium and other browser engine. The thing is, too, is you are a unique person. Only you are going to go down this path with this IP address, with this operating system, with this user agent, with this browser, at this level, at this time. You know, you gooning at 4 p.m., that is a fingerprint. That's like people can cross-examine very specific, like, oh, this is what it is. Like Sam Bent, where's this video? We're stealing content today. Tor browser and mobile browser does a pretty good job of blending it. Yeah, that's the point. That's why they don't want you to they don't want you to modify it at all. Sam, please don't make me think that I'm not stealing your content, Sam. If you come across this. Like this. This is like the best way I've seen someone break it down.
Matter at all? And the answer is, it does matter, and I think it matters a lot. And maybe maybe that's not the case, but this is my opinion. So think about trying to identify a single person out of the entire world. Like if all you know is that they're a human being.
Damn it. Whether you agree with this, who doesn't goon at 4 p.m., people that work at 4 p.m., maybe. This is the best explanation of how metadata narrows you down and many other factors. Some fingerprint sites also don't count. Do you know about I quit porn 2 years ago? Loser. Do you know about it's like embedded fingerprinting. Like it'll play audio on your browser. It'll have a picture on your browser, but you cannot see it. Even longer than that. Lame. I'm just kidding, by the way. But that's not the discussion we are having today. Look, if you're addicted to gooning, that's all right. I don't know. Couldn't be me, but I love titties. But Sam Bent does probably the best explanation for something like this for people that do not understand what fingerprinting is. He does talk, very chill,
That's
very slow.
1 out of 8 billion. But then I tell you, say, for example, the target is a man. So you instantly cut that pool in half, right? Now, let's say he lives in the United States. So now you're down to like 165 million or something. He lives in New Mexico. And that brings
No script can block that. Yeah.
it to like 1 million.
I'm aware.
And,
but embedded
okay,
fingerprinting, that's insane. That's it. Dude, just think about that for a second. That's crazy. And you would never know.
And now he's one of like 130,000. He has one biological child, 32,000. Master's degree or higher, roughly 6,500. He works in education, 500.
It's basically a whole war by the sounds of it. Fingerprinting. or SD on Debian-based distros.
As a secondary source
No,
of
nice.
income, maybe 150. And
Your time zone can fuck you up. This is why Kick Secure actually has, and a lot of other security-based browsers that try to, let me more specific, privacy-based browsers, they actually make you have all the same time format. They want your clocks to if every clock strikes at 12, then everyone looks the same.
finally, if he recently
They couldn't fingerprint you based on, oh, well, it's 4 p.m. We're in Western time, like California. Well, he's got to be on the East Coast. That cuts the country in half. And now like, oh, it's this time zone? Well, it's these states. That cuts you down very significantly. Just knowing what time they're in, zone they're in.
made a major life change,
If it's another country, it's even more unique. You're like, okay, perfect.
following a health issue, you're down to roughly a dozen people or so. And that's the power of
Ideally, UTC, yeah.
metadata. It's no joke, which is why it's a serious thing. It's taken seriously.
And Sam Ben does a really good explanation of like how fingerprinting matters and how easy. And when you're a government agency, this isn't to get schizophrenic or like brain rot or like paranoid or virtue signaling. But if a government is after you and you're in an authoritarian country or a state where you have less rights, or if there a domestic violence scenario or whatever you think, or if you just want to be private, these things are easy to find. They're relatively the simplest. I think somebody even said that Signal in itself's end-to-end encryption isn't the security/privacy guide, and it's fucking terrible. I still respect the EFF. Their guide could be I mean, if you want to look at it, I still respect what the EFF does. They do a lot. They do a lot for people, and they bring a lot of information to people. It's not easy. Everyone has different perspectives on security, but let's see. Anyone that runs a NTP server is a Fed. Convince me otherwise. You can run your own NTP server, my brother. So that's, and then you can get, if you're that concerned, there's something called, it's encrypted. There's encrypted NTP, secure NTP. I wanted to run a pool, but I'd rather just run my own. Yeah, you can get secure NTPS with NTS. SSD, EFF org. Okay. Oh, self-defense. Yeah. Many computers on the network time protocol is synchronized with their systems clocked over the internet. NTP is one of the few unsecured internet protocols and is still common use. An attacker can observe the network traffic between the client and the server and can feed the client bogus data. Crazy. And it's used. It's probably one of the most needed. Everything needs to be in time. Jeff Geerling does a beautiful job on talking about time and servers, and it's awesome. Basics tool guide. Let's see. I think they're attending the protests is pretty. I mean, they did one on. I remember reading this. Enable strong encryption on your device. Full disk and file-based encryption are two types of encryption, which ensures the files across your entire device. Blah blah blah. That Android guide is apparently terrible. Oh, how get to know Android privacy and security. I mean, graphing OS, sure, but every device essentials, no matter what you're supposed to. Everyone takes these settings on their phone to increase their privacy and security. If you own an Android phone for a long time, there's a chance you've already enabled two-factor authentication, a way to make your online accounts more secure by alongside with your password. Once in the password, they wouldn't be able to get into your Google account with that second. Your Google account can hold lots of info for a new device. Don't worry too much after running through the authentication process. I mean, 2FA, that's verify you in apps, fingerprint, screen, device unlock. If your device is lost or stolen, confiscated by police, device encryption helps protect. I mean, that's already good advice right off the bat. Use fingerprint, use fingerprint to verify apps, fingerprint unlock, sure. That's already good advice. Encrypt, make sure that you have skip password when possible, authenticator, two-step verification. That's already awesome. Disable 2G, that's true. I mean, two-factor access from the same session in the browser. Howdy. What's up? Two factors. NTS would be a big factor resulting in time correction attacks against you, no? I believe so. I believe that's what it solves. We'll have to read. We'll read secure NTP with NTPS in a few moments. We got to make YC Clept 87 mad because the EFF. I think the EFF does a pretty good job. I think they do good work. What to do, gets open settings, security, privacy, controls, permissions manager. Here you'll get to a page with an abundance of different permissions, each listing how many apps have access to those permissions. Not all these are only on, or some like photos, location, or more nuanced permissions is worth going through. That's good. So it's not that bad. Yeah, and technically it's good to reduce the amount of permissions, but let's read the full sections. Damn it. I hate reading full sections. How long is this read? It should be a requirement to tell me how long your article is going to read. Okay, we'll read from the start. I just fucking hate reading sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I'm like, that's a lot of information. Open up your Android settings app and you'll find dozens of different options with little guidance on what those options. Some of these settings have a serious impact on your privacy and security. You know, I think Linux and tinkering has become an addiction for me. It's kind of interfering with my medical studies, so I guess I will just install an easy, stable distro and focus on my studies. As you should, Ahmed. You need to become a doctor so your parents don't hate you. What's I just use Gen 2. Don't lie. Nope. And Void on my machines, also Secure Blue. Secure Blue is alright. It's just, I don't know. What sort of changes should you make dependent on how you use your phone and your security plan? There is no one size fit all for collections. True. Apparently the alternative distro part is really terrible. Probably. Come on. See all guides. They can't be perfect for everything. Some people mailed them about it, from what I remember, and they fixed that section. Probably. Choosing the right VPN, is that right for you? Okay, this one we're gonna first see privacy breakdown on mobile phones. No, hold on. Keep your data safe. How to get to know Android privacy and security settings. How to use Signal. How to use Tor. How to use Tor on Android and iPhone. Further learning. Basics. Choosing your tools. Choosing the right VPN for you. We know what a VPN's. Okay, here's the first thing. What VPNs don't do. Fully protect against security threats on public Wi-Fi. A properly configured VPN cannot protect any unencrypted internet traffic from surveillance or public networks. But while it is used to be standard recommendation to use a VPN when using public Wi-Fi at coffee shops or airports, this isn't necessary for everyone anymore because the majority of all web traffic is now encrypted using HTTPS. True. I would think ARM Chromebook with Chrome OS would probably be the most secure desktop hardware. Yeah, probably out the gate. VPN software is not updated to deal with real security such as tunnel vision. It might not even. It's in the same article you just read. There are people that have pointed. I mean, I think it's relatively now known that Chrome OS is pretty good. A lot of people that are in cybersecurity use Chromebooks. Let's see. Do they tell you what it isn't? They're not a security multi-tool. How do I choose it? Claims, trust, and transparency. Do they recommend one? EFF cannot vouch for any VPN on ratings. Some VPNs with explanatory privacy policies could run by devious people. Do not use a VPN that you do not trust. Oh, it's just, in the Android article? Okay. Oh, they have a key verification guide. Choosing a password manager. Do they have a recommendation? KeyPass only? I think PrivacySec and Management Blog is pretty good. Yeah, they're good. They give good advice. But do you know who gives the best VPN advice? This. We need an entire blog for VPN. All right, I talk too much shit on the internet about people. I think he calls like Tor VPN or something. Or is it Tor 10 reasons to switch from Proton to Nord? That's crazy. 10 reasons why Mulvad VPN disappoints. That's a crazy take. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy on it. Mulvad has the best fucking pricing. I think actually this is just a joke. Tom Sparks, it does look like a Fed in a video game. Chinese ARM backdoor versus American x86 backdoor. Real. Something came to my mind. Some old privacy websites. I love these privacy websites. Why I don't like privacy guides? Oh shit! Oh, it's from 2024. Community siphoning opinion. My personal view is they shift from privacytools.io to privacy guides because it felt like a natural progression, more akin to the redaction of user base, the observation base, idea appropriation, opinion. Use Mulvad, VPN, iVPN, and Proton. Yeah. How obsessed do you have to be over VPNs? For real. Prison Break? Is Muda based or cringe? Muda is pretty based, but his videos are too long. For like very simple. Someone actually said like Muda like has this insane ability to take a really simple 5-minute topic and stretch it. I only use RIS5. True. Yeah, no backdoors when it's at the open source level. Yeah, I think I've been copium actually. I keep telling myself, but I'm not wasting my time on a video game. I'm becoming a better computer user. Yeah, Linux isn't my job at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I think DistroTube, I watched like a video on that. He didn't work in tech space. He just likes Linux. He was like in like big grocery store market chain management or something. And DistroTube is a very acknowledged Linux user and has an entire video based around Linux. His entire channel is based around Linux. And he even said he would, I think, don't quote me, but I believe he talked, like he said he would not want to do Linux as a full, be a system administrator. He said it sounds pretty awful. it would take the fun out of it. So I could kind of understand that. I believe he was like, I don't want to do that as a day job. That doesn't sound fun. I forget. He talks a certain way. John is very creative thumbnail. Wait, in my opinion, privacy guys appear to have replicated the core concept of privacy tools.io without introductions to significant ideas. This approach might be I think that I only use false hardware with my Libre BIOS signed by Richard Stallman. It better be signed by Richard Stallman's public PGP keys. John Aragon copying another privacy creator's thumbnail very blatantly, including a teardrop and everything. The thing is, this is like very YouTube. This is such a YouTube standard. This is such a bitch thing to point out. I'm sorry. Like thumbnail, like arguing over thumbnails and like people stealing thumbnail art or the way they do it is so retarded. Your thumbnail is just to capture people into your video. And as long as, like, doing a fucking tier list is already fucking not a privacy guys is okay. I think they have fallen off a little. I think they're fine. I think they give good advice. Privacy Sec Dev all the way. Yeah, but he doesn't update it as much. And it's there. You have to have rationality behind your points. Some people do not care, and you need to give them options so that they know they exist, and eventually maybe they'll come over to your side. You don't convert people through hospitals run enterprise Linux if you want to switch from being a clinical provider or creating the clinical infrastructure, med. What the fuck is this shit? Don C? I don't know. What is this shit? Oh yeah, it's Tom Sparks review. VPN review god. I'm tier list when I should do a tier list about which is the best tier list for Linux tier list. Somebody, okay, this is okay. Another mental AO millennial, probably good one. Privacy YouTube tier list. Yeah, as long as ones don't actually do what they're supposed to do, they're wasting their time regardless of whether they plan Fortnite or learn about quantum mechanics. S, not FBI upon. I love cider burritos. F Venezuelan. I used to work at a hospital. I'd rather the provider I was speaking not to be the moron. I'm joking. No, I'm S here. There's this channel. Oh god. Oh man. Tech bore. Look. Oh, that's a beard. Why would I place my Libre SSL DWM person in the F tier? True. I'm jorking. I used to work at hospitals. I'd rather the provider I was speaking not be a moron. True. So this, I don't know how I know tech bore. Look. I'm being charitable. This guy was very obsessed. I've watched his stuff. This guy was very obsessed with talking shit about tech lore in a very weird way. And here's the funny thing. Where's his video? I don't know if it's there anymore. Do you know Ken's Tech World? Another Linux hater? No, I don't. We need to look into this. Okay, I don't remember what video I saw.
Apple has bout.
But Tom Sparks, okay, maybe he removed it because people were saying it. All right, I'm going to look crazy. Tom Sparks review used to comment on this guy's shit all the time. I would watch it. I would listen because I listen to other people's opinion. It doesn't really it doesn't sway my opinion. It's the fucking internet. I don't really care. I don't have like a deep thought about it. I just watch stuff and sometimes I'll laugh. Sometimes I'm watching stuff for just pure funnies. The privacy for profit is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, they had this weird thing they were talking about Mr. Camel 99 for like fucking like 5 videos. I was very deep into the lore. But maybe he removed all his comments, but Tom Sparks used to fucking post on this man's you're not insane. I know I'm not insane. Casey, cloaked looked kind of cool.
I'm always on.
I'm not watching his stuff. Oh god, I can't find it. I swear, man. I don't know if it's a YouTube comment bot or even the ones I don't like, because I listen to most sides of the privacy community. Yeah, it's good to. It's good to get refreshed and listen to other people.
If you recall, I made a short nearly a year ago calling out Linux experiment over his money complaints. Well, imagine my surprise when I received a notification for a comment left by...
Yes, there's clearly no value from compelling news from hundreds of sources and giving my opinions on what I consider important. New aggregation has always been stupid. I guess no value whatsoever in saving people time. No value either testing out desktops and distros and showing new features and actions. No one would ever want to know the things. I think tech lore actually lacks something important, actual sophisticated tech knowledge. I think tech lore gives very simple this isn't me defending him and agreeing with his opinion, but I think they get a lot of hate because he edits very clean. He's very corporate editing. He's a very but he runs YouTube. There's a lack of good PriveSex YouTubers. There is a lack of it. I'm not saying it, but I think people give tech lore way too much hate for the weirdest reasons. We need cyber burritos, but not only mobile focused, but just in general. Are you just cyber burritos with a different profile? I'm not saying like tech lore is good or bad or the best or the worst. And if he owns a Tesla, who really fucking cares? I don't know. It's just like weird. It's weird to care about these things. I mean, what is it? Henry uses an iPhone. He used an iPhone. He likes Apple. And even the Graphene OS devs admit that Apple's security is relatively good. And their privacy, from some sources, like from advertisers mainly, they say that I'm not him, I swear. I'm kidding. But I want to make a car OPSEC channel, but they might Michael Hasting me. I never bought a Pixel 7. Search Kent's Tech World. Damn it, can't spell. He's a Linux hater. Oh god, I can already smell.
We are going to talk about...
I can already smell this video. Why would you pick this photo? Massive GNOME rant? That's fair. Microsoft, Huawei, Tencent, Google controls FOSS and Linux. Windows 10 end of life won't matter for Linux. Ubuntu will replace GNU orders with Rust. Based! $1K videos. Man, this guy be posting. Me, sometimes I forget to post. Like, straight up. Overall, I love his Apple ecosystem more private or reclusive. I want to make car OPSEC. No, you should do car OPSEC channel. I would support that. I would subscribe to that. I would throw you a like. That'd be very cool because Cars Bro had made a video dissing on Michael Horn, the nicest guy in the space. This guy is just baiting, probably. Guys, he's using very original thumbnail. I hate thumbnail fucking people. I just hate. I like make very cringe. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not doing a thumbnail. I'm just gonna let it fly. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about this. Like, I'm not spending 45 minutes to find the right thumbnail. There's only 2 thumbnails that I like. I like Bread on Linux thumbnails because they're very chill. Minus that one. I like the stuff. I like this. I'm like, yes, very simple. No PrivSec related content. Crying finder icon theme thumbnail. LOL. Yeah, for real. This guy's just baiting. Eric Parker mostly does malware analysis. My favorite person on here actually. In this Louis Rossmann thumbnail are my favorite. Yeah, that too. Louis Rossmann's very like simple. I guess. I love John Hammond. Female Luke Smith. Yeah, everyone says female Luke Smith. Anyone can walk in the woods, guys. That's like saying Robert Elliser is same thing. But they all are bald. Speaking of Luke Smith, he came back recently. Yeah. But he became like, he does like religious preaching. I don't like that. I know. I also might Paul Walker myself, fucking with the CAN buzz, but I'll try someday for sure. You should just get a bus and open source bus. I'm not lying. I know Luke Smith came back. I came across his video. He's just a little, he's like, look, if you want to be religious, that's fine. That's your choice. It's just cringe. Like I don't know, man. Just weird. I mean, your channel, your rules. John Hammond's great though. I like John Hammond. And then there's that low level learning's based. This guy's like super chill. His last video was about AI, so yeah, we're back. Luke Smith mentioned, guys. Don't worry, guys. He'll get on his DW grind bag. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like dislike or like Luke Smith. I was never aware of his existence. Who is that one guy? This Bryant Linux Gaming. Is that people? I don't know.
Hammer like this.
I forget who.
So why would you?
Even before he disappeared, Luke always did religion and philosophy. What do you mean? Yeah, but I don't know, man. Just not a fan. Like I said, I was never a huge Luke Smith watcher, but his recent videos aren't all just religion. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not for me, buddy. I'm mostly interested in software content. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can separate the people from it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I had a person that I used to. We talk about Linux. This guy is a Steam Deck Valve YouTuber for real. Someone was like, "I hate this guy," and I'm like, "Why? He's kind of interesting." And then like I started realizing like, yeah, dude, he does a shit ton of stuff on like he talked about the Steam Deck for a minute, and now I stopped watching him around. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, a year ago. It's been longer than a year. When was the last time I fucking listened to this guy? Wow, it's been so long because I never ever cared about the gaming part. Maybe this is just his gaming channel. Maybe I'm retarded. Ever seen Matt Brown? He did a vid about unsecure license plate cameras. I think so. No. Gardner Bryant, this isn't the gaming channel. This is actually his, yeah. He gives some bad advice and then good advice. Have you seen James Champion? No. We should take a look. The hated one? Hated one's okay.
You want to have a de-googled phone.
I think he has, but he talks to a lot of people, so that's why. He talks to a lot of people. But he doesn't really just focus on just private security. He focuses on like a lot of shit. Like, look at this.
By the way.
He talks.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He promotes session. Guys, I regret telling people to use session. I want people to shame that. People should shame me until the... No, this is the one. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. This is my...
This is the one. This is the interview where I'm like, fucking L. And if he ever sees this and he never wants to talk to me as a person, or he thinks I suck, still, fucking L. Nim Technologies looks like an actual pot. No cap. And if someone wants to say FUD, go ahead. Andrew Griffin is awesome too, but doesn't post a lot. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does make mistakes. So I have an opinion about his words on some. I like the hated one. Don't get me wrong. I like his content. It doesn't mean I take it serious. There's tons of stuff, like I said, I watch where I don't have to agree with what they say. I just watch it so I can hear it. He says that he has been shadow banned because he makes content that is anti-Google. I don't agree with this, only because you don't worry. I've had my Arch Linux plus Xorg plus Firefox AES Phase 2s, but I got better. Yeah, security and privacy is a shifting scale. You're gonna care about some stuff, and you're not gonna care about some stuff. But he complains quite a lot about being shadow banned and where his content isn't reaching a broader audience. I don't agree with it the way he is he explains it to people. I was listening to a person who does YouTube for a living in like a podcast scenario, and they're like, a lot of YouTubers complain that their content is shadow banned and it's really copium. Sometimes people just do not. That's not the problem with Session Pros. Yeah, it's their protocol is insecure. They dropped perfect word secrecy, and they made other few poor decisions due to their own reasoning. But I don't think that if you make good content and people watch you, and they click on your video, YouTube cares about we don't really know what the algorithm is, but YouTube cares about specific stuff that pushes their content. I'll give you an example. So my shorts, my analytics, if you're not using PGP on Session, you're brain dead. The way they... No, you shouldn't have to do an extra step for a secure messaging app. You are retarded if you actually think that. You should not have to use a second form of encryption for a messaging app. I never said the issue of instant messengers because I don't have friends. I only use RC. So this is a good example of like the analytics I see. Like views 80K. I have one video that's seen I think it's like this is my top one. This is like 500,000 views, 600,000. So a lot of these, YouTube will see this and be like, oh, people like it because people like it. And then it'll get recommended in the search algorithm. So whatever you search on is what they'll push it to. Your browser, where it comes from the shorts. So this mainly came from search. I mean, I can't see the hated one's analytics, but I guarantee like he has like maybe short view duration because people don't care about it. People might not care about your kind of content you're trying to push, and that's why YouTube's not recommending it. It has nothing to do with being shadow banned. Look at Mental Outlaw. Mental Outlaw is a perfect example of this, where he makes it's whether you agree with this stuff or not, he's still anti-Google and says fuck them, and he gets tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views. PGP is flawed, but I mean, everything gets compromised at a certain point eventually. If you're not using a second layer, good luck. Bro, you got to see Andrea Borman. Yeah. First off, that's not how encryption works, and that's just a lazy cop out saying everything gets compromised, so I'm going to use a quote unquote flawed second form of security. That's like taking a lock, putting it on a door, putting the key in it, and then putting a lock behind that and putting the key in it and being like, guys, look, I solved it. Let's see your subs. My subs, I'm at like 2,000 or almost, no, 1,800. I think. The crazy thing is, studio. You should use Signal with Molly? Yeah, or Simple X. I'm at 1,831 subs. I've had the most subs increase in the last 28 days. But this will be all news by 2025. Oh, based. Ah, nice. Yeah, people Gen 2. Andrew Bowman went from out of touch granny to a hacker. Just means everything is going to get compromised at some point. Isn't an excuse. Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's just lazy. I mean, when people say that, it's just lazy answer. To use Firefox Eros on Debian with Xorg and have 20 extensions. The thing is, Signal has pretty battle-tested software. Thank you, the Elcon 2020. I think, yeah, this is the most my trends. Strongest straight from prison. I should not have these prison phones. That's kind of weird. The Android show. Tidy up your tech. How to protect your digital data and privacy. From today, guys. Unless you're encrypting with an algorithm you design yourself with an ungodly amount of entropy, everything is flawed. Yes, we don't have to go that far if it takes the government months to crack RSA 416. That's the most retarded. You don't roll your encryption. Even if they have the money to... If you could drop the source for that, that'd be great. No channels you sub to or watch? No, I sub to channels. And watch. I watch tons of content. I don't have RSA 469 anytime soon. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like 128-bit encryption is AES 128 is still uncrackable. There was very little evidence that they wanted to break SHA-256 as an example. Yeah. But I'm just saying you don't need to use 256 encryption, bit encryption, AES 256. You do not. You can use 128. It's still very secure today. Is it future-proof secure? No. Does the feds do hold now, crack later? Yeah. Which ones? I like all types of content. I don't just do privacy and security. I'm subscribed to all over the place. Like I watch content that's somewhat similar, but I watch everything. Like I'm all over YouTube. Like my algorithm, my feed is fucked. I get Gooner content, pee-pee poo-poo content, ham radio content, prepper content. It's mostly FUD. Yeah. You rolling your own fucking algorithm is retarded. Also to point out, unless you're advanced very fast and got a hold of sure. But we're not even close to quantum computing. It's so expensive in our reach. I believe Cha-Cha, and plus, by the way, with your logic, Signal actually uses double ratchet encryption. Yeah. So they use a double ratchet algorithm. Is probably a key management algorithm developed by Trevor Parn and Marlene Spikes in 2013, introduced as a part of the Signal protocol in February of 2014, is to use to provide end-to-end encryption for the instant messaging and combines a cryptographic ratchet based on the Diffie-Hellman key exchange (DH) and a ratchet based on the key derivative function of KDF, such as a hash function. The double ratchet algorithm is designed to provide forward secrecy for messages and implicit renegades of forward keys. It ensures the earlier keys cannot be calculated from the later ones, vice versa, providing protection to earlier or later encrypted messages in the case of a compromised keys. In double ratchet algorithm, a client attempts to renew the session key material interactively with remote pairing using DH ratchet. If this is impossible, the client renews the session key using hash ratchet. They have better things to do than that. The feds can't invest all their money on breaking specific. Yeah, they could. I mean, they have the money to, but they're not going to waste their time doing it. It's like, I think most people that get caught due, by the way, to shit metadata and shit OPSEC. It's not. This is back to my point that I was saying actually earlier. I was listening to like a security expert, like person that just lives in this field, saying that it doesn't matter what Signal does, what kind of encryption Signal uses, quote unquote, or if they encrypt the servers or all that. They don't need to listen on the wire and read the messages. They just need the metadata, and they can get metadata from everything else. How the NSA may have put a backdoor in RSA's cryptography technical primer. Nick Surveillance Surveil 9 Min Read. Anyone can make a claim. You need to back it up. We understand that the C compiler could have had a backdoor into it. Quantum computers are currently just very advanced for scientific research. It's not even in the tech space, yet not even supercomputers or enterprise servers. Yeah, pretty much. There's the C backdoor. I got to be careful with this word because this word's overused. This is a real thing. A backdoor in C compiler can be ultimately, but someone did it. I can't remember who. They put like a backdoor in the compiler. Backdoor, the C program. How would you detect or remove a compiler backdoor? Yeah, that's Ken Thompson's compiler. Yeah, that's what it was. And the thing is, he came with the evidence because he's the one that did it. You know what I mean? Like, people can make assumptions. I would have to see this guy's claim. I'm very skeptical when people make claims like this because I think that it's a very hyperbolic statement. And it ruins the conversation because, look, Ken Thompson is one of the people who invented Unix, by the way. RIP. I'll read the synopsis of this and then go to like an article. I need water. All right, guys, do some jumping jacks. Stretch for a second while I get some hydration. Yeah, Ken Thompson, Dennis Ritchie, Brian Cunningham, these guys invented modern computing. And it's very awesome they did. The NSA may have inserted a backdoor into RSA's cryptography through a pseudo-random bit generator called dual it's lost its meaning. We're just throwing it at everything. So like it's yeah, I agree. This is a backdoor. This has been like, you know what I mean? It's very theatrical now. We live in theater. I think this is like, well, this is somewhat similar to when people thought that your IP address was like, when people get on the internet, be like, they're like, I have your IP address. I know where you live. And you're like, at first you're scared. You're like, mom, here's my IP address. And you unlock it from your computer, and you're like scared, and you're like hiding. And you're like, by the way, what do you think of Anibus? A big FOSS projects use it on their website now. Anubis, huh? I thought they said furry. It's possible backdoor the. How does a picture of a baby correlate? I have no idea, bro. Good logo too. Anubis. Is it? Oh, that word. Search Anubis software, not God Anubis. For real. Anubis. Anubis. Wow, look at this. Modern. Is this it? Is this it? Chat, is this real? Oh. No. Yes, you hear me right? Fucking United Nations? Yeah. Is it email security? It's for anti-bots? Oh. That'd have been easier. Oh, block AI scraping. Anime girl? Hell yeah. No, I got it. This is how you know this is a real software dev. Anime girl anime picture. K9 tools, webplay, distrust. Start history. With Nginx HA proxy. Nice. That's kind of cool, actually. The real question is HA proxy or Nginx? Do we have a Rust version of either of these tools? Rust version of HA proxy. Did you see that? Boo! We need a I think actually there's an HA proxy. No, it's not Isn't Squid written in Go? Which one is written in Go? No, it's not. Squid caching. HTTP. We will. I thought there was a popular one written in Go for its blazingly fast performance. Get started. I gotta drink some more water. Oh yes, did you see that H2 or Caddy server? H2O or oh really? Okay, so let's see. How does it work? User, this is very cool project. We definitely need AI to stop scraping shit. This is kind of nice. Client, server, validate challenge, backend fill. I mean, this is so Tutanota made their own also CAPTCHA, and so did Proton. Proton, I think they made it available for other people to use. That's supposed to be more privacy respecting, and that's why I like the competition, and that's why I like the idea of financially supporting free and open source software. Wherever you are, Ravish, everyone hate him and boo him for not liking free and open source software. So let's deep dive in for a second for secure NTP with NTPS. Just to kind of like have a perspective what it does. And look, Big Ben and Fedora Linux 42. Yes, you hear me right? The fucking United Nations. That's awesome though. Wait, Robson interviewed the Anubis developer on his podcast Tech Over Tea. Highly recommend. This guy actually has great ideas. Nice. I will. I don't like Brody Robinson because he sounds British. No hate against him though. Is Brody Robertson? I want to know if he is British though.
There are countless incredible devs in the FOSS world, and many of them are
Maybe I just don't like his accent. I'll have to do the look at that episode though. He's Australian. Same thing. I see no difference. Even worse, actually. His thumbnails of himself is really funny though. I'm glad he took that. He has 1,900 videos. That's crazy. Welcome to my channel 5 years ago. Failing to install Arch. I just wanted to hear a previous version of him.
My first job was awful, but I learned a valuable lesson from it. Let's take a look.
Interesting. Tech Over Tea channel. Wow, that's crazy. His thumbnails went from that to this. Linus's worst tech tip. Watch a video before using Atlas OS. Isn't it a scammer or something? Configuring Mac OS with a virtual machine. I'm just a hater, I guess. Not his main channel. I know. I had to look him up because I was like, wow, I really hate
There
British
are countless
accents.
incredible devs in the FOSS world, and many.
What is that? Is that a grindcore album? Is that a grindcore shirt? It's okay though. This man loves Fedora. I'm still a Fedora hater, but that's okay. How about multi-millionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? I forgot about that. Surveillance. We're gonna look at secure NTPS though. I'll go listen to his Tech Over Tea channel when I get some time and get some thoughts about it. These bots. I don't know if I'm whatever. Many computers of the network time protocols to synchronize their systems, clocks over the internet. NTP is one of the few unsecured internet protocols still in common use. An attacker that can observe the network traffic between client and server can feed the client with bogus data depending on the client's implementation and configuration, force itself to set a system clock to any time and data. Some programs and services might not work if the client's system clock is not accurate. For example, web browser will not correctly work if the web server's certificate appears to be expired according to the client's system clock. Use the NTS to secure NTP. Fedora 3031 is the first Fedora release to support NTS. NTS is the new authentication mechanism for NTP. It enables clients to verify that the packets are received are from the server that have not been modified while in transit. Wow. The only thing that attacker can do when NTS is enabled is drop or delay packets. See RFC 8915 for the further details about NTS. NTP can be as secure with symmetric keys. Unfortunately, the servers have to be different keys for each client, and the keys have to be securely distributed. This might be practical with a private server on a local area network, but it does not scale to the public server with millions of clients. Anubis literally started as a hobby, but suddenly a Uniseco domain now uses it. The Linux kernel mailing list, GNOME, it's now federally. It's now Glowy, man. Glowy funded. Only Glowies would use this now. Glowy approved. It sounds cool though. He got huge responsibility thrown at him out of nowhere. I think it's because it's probably realized that like a lot of websites don't want to be scraped. Probably it probably costs them too because they're getting hit with a bunch of like bandwidth, like clicks. It's stealing content, maybe unethical. I mean, I could see it doesn't surprise me. That kind of is insane, though, to wake up and be like, hey, you have this huge responsibility now to maintain this forever. Because people now use it. Assuming RSA has no backdoor, RSA key snatch by recording CPU sounds with a phone bite by marking. Okay. I mean, you're just pulling out, like, cool stuff. I think this stuff is cooler. The fact that it's public and known mean that it probably has a fix to it. That's from 2013. I guarantee that this is not even possible anymore. That's the beauty of stuff. When you discover this on the internet, it's probably got a patch to it. And if it doesn't, well, guess what? Probably doesn't still affect you. Because if it was that serious, then no one would be using RSA at all. Oh, okay. Let me read this over. The NSA may have inserted a backdoor into RSA's cryptographic through a pseudo-random bit generator called dual ECDRBG. The algorithm was ratified by the National Institute of Standards of Technology in 2007 and was later made the default way for RSA's Be-Safe crypto toolkit to generate random numbers. From what I understand, computers still can't truly generate random numbers. It's somewhat impossible. They're still, They're still somewhat deterministic because numbers in themselves are. You can't patch electrons, bro. Yeah, but if you can prevent it from the keys were snatched by recording the CPU sounds with a phone by Mark Hanshin in 2013. Again, if this is a risk that is known, I think the fact that LLMs are allowed to just scrape websites that are potentially not licensed under a Creative Commons license and are actually not cool with companies using their content. Okay, you can also listen to conversations via light. Bouncing off your walls or something. I mean, people can perform whatever they want in a vacuum. If it was that serious, then they would look for a way to prevent it. But let's see. Okay, back to this. John McAfee did it right. Faraday cages secured by the cooked out armed guards. You can just put your phone in airplane mode if you're worried about that. But how would that stop? What would be the point of? What would be the point of? John McAfee also made shit antivirus software that was not good. Like most antivirus software that beyond like the built-in with Windows Defender and Mac are not good. They're just spyware. If you trust this program that has this level of access and you're okay with that, then maybe you're the one that needs to do a little re-education. It is funny when people bring up John McAfee, and don't realize that he was essentially installing these third-party antiviruses is giving them an exorbitant amount of permissions that they do not need to do something that is already built into your system, itself. Dual EC RD0 has a design that makes it theoretically impossible for anyone but designers to confirm the existence of a backdoor. Bruce Schneider concluded that shortly after standardization that the rather obvious backdoor along with other deficiencies would mean that nobody would use dual EC DRGB. The backdoor in dual EC DRGB is related to the fixed constant numbers built into the algorithm that can function as a kind of a skeleton key. Anyone who knows the right numbers can depreciate. Interestingly, companies are absolutely bastards with stuff like the inherent archive when they used similar arguments like media preservation. Yeah, but they also, I believe the inherent archive actually did make a mistake on the way they did it. I'd have to go revisit the case, but I think they did something that they could have done legally and had access. I'm not agreeing with the court's decision to a certain degree because I think the Internet Archive is an important piece of history. But it's, they'll probably argue that they stole data because of fair use and tech advancement. I think they shouldn't have been sued, but that's my case. I think the Internet Archive provides an invaluable service, and it does suck that stuff is being used as like training data. I mean, literally, look what happened with Reddit. Also, by the way, John McAfee got caught due to bad OPSEC. So just throwing that out there. You can go. There's a good documentary of him out there that I watched a long time ago. He kind of fucked himself. If he would have stayed off the internet and gooned a little bit, he would have been fine. The backdoor in dual EC is regulated to the fix. In addition to dual EC DRBG, the NSA also pushed another tool called the extended random. extension for secure websites, which could help crack a version of RS dual elliptic curve software tens of thousands of times faster. Despite the suspicion and evidence, RSA initially defended its use of RGB, stating that it's always in the active best interest of their customers, and under no circumstance they design or enable a backdoor in their products. Obviously, they wouldn't fucking admit it. However, the cryptographic community was generally suspicious of dual EC DRGB after Edward Snowden's leaks. Both NIST and RSA announced the technology. Controversially over dual EC highlights the challenges of ensuring that the integrity of security regardless the potential for government agencies to influence the standard of these purposes. The thing is, you cannot make a back. I'm gonna also defend on this. You can't make a backdoor and and ensure that it's not going to be exploited. My general assumption is when people say, well, there's a backdoor in it, well, someone else probably could find it. You can't make a private backdoor or a secure backdoor. It's just not possible. Someone will be able to discover this in a way to exploit it. If everything is quote unquote compromisable due to some people's logic in general, they have to understand on a high sense, you can't make a backdoor and make it impossible to find. It's literally humans making it. There's bound to be errors. There's bound to, like, this is just a fundamental understanding of, like, when government agencies ask to put backdoors into software, they tell them, like, hey, this is not possible. There's no safe way of doing it, and it's going to compromise the security of it. If the government relies on RSA, then it would be dumb for them to create a backdoor because hypothetically it could be exploited and compromise them in the worst kind of way where information needs to stay critical and at its highest level. Interesting companies are absolute bastards. They will probably argue that they stole the data because of fair use and blah, blah, blah. If you pirate stuff in crack games and are into that Warriors stuff, you need good OPSEC. That's true. I have a friend who leaked a paid medical course on the course owner's identity. And after his ass now, his OPSEC was horrible. Yeah. Hacking, like the best hackers we just don't know about. If you're a good hacker, you are an unknown person. You might have a name attached to you, but if you have really good OPSEC, you're relatively just a shadow in the figurative sense of the internet. That is the best kind of OPSEC, is where people don't even know who you are. I talked to the person who was, what do you call it? Developing the Tails version of I2P, which was Pristemium, and he refused to do any interview or anything that involved using his voice. He didn't want to expose even that. That's pretty good OPSEC if I do say so myself. I think there's getting software out there that's getting like really good at like going to be like recognition software is going to be really crazy in the next 5 to 10 years. Like really crazy. It's like, hey, you show me like 8 seconds of this person's voice and we'll be able to find other stuff that they're on. Interesting. So I don't know. People can make their claims and criticize that, but until it's been kind of proven, I'm not a cryptographic expert. I don't understand cryptography to the highest level. Listen up, RSA. He literally posted on a public Telegram channel under an account. Okay, he's just retarded. That's beyond bad. That's beyond bad OPSEC. This is autism. Telegram is dog shit anyways. No one should have ever. It sounds too presumptuous for even James Bond by physically placing a mobile phone next to a PCU. Researchers can listen to the faintest sound of a CPU makes as it turns away on RSA encoded context, extract the keys themselves. Priests don't, except for the fact that Ali Shamard, one of the co-developers of RSA encryption algorithm, co-wrote the paper that described how to do it. Daniel Getkin and Aaron Tromo were the other two authors. The attack can extract the full 496-bit RSA decryption keys from a laptop computer, various models within the hour. Using this within the hour, that's crazy. First off, that's within the hour, and that has to be physically next to it. That's just, it's like, when people show this stuff to me, I'm more like, that's fucking cool. But you have physical access. Physical access, you have a lot of power. You can compromise, especially an hour, that's crazy. You can compromise a laptop close by with way more. And like, that's just like my personal take. If you need various models within an hour using the sound generated by the computer during the encryption of some chosen ciphertext, the paper's authors wrote, we experimentally demonstrated that such attacks can be carried out using either a plain mobile phone placed next to the computer or a more sensitive microphone placed 4 meters away. The authors were able to experimentally succeed with their method using either an ungainly extremely accessible phone with just 30 centimeters away. Naturally, better listening equipment decreased the time expected at RSA keys. And to keep it even worse, merely touching the PC allows an attacker to extract the keys by measuring electric potential of the PC chassis. In this case, users who touched the PC surprisingly suspiciously measured their electrical potential should be able to extract the keys, and be persuading the victim to plug either an innocuous-looking VGA Ethernet cable into his laptop. The attacker could measure the shield potential elsewhere and get the keys. Typically, having physical access to an unsuspecting PC is enough for some security experts to throw up hands and conclude that the attacker has won, and that's true in this case as well. But the paper's author determined the attack running in a lecture hall suggested that plausible scenarios: install an attack app on your phone, set up a meeting with your victim. During the meeting, place your phone on the desk next to the victim's laptop. Break into your victim's phone, install your attack app, and wait until construct. The techniques author described can be countered by sound dampening, but the white noise of a PC's fan can be pretty easily filtered out. The case people assume to authorize serious stuff, especially business, government, shall we say. Yeah, wow, thank you, PC World. That's interesting. If you have to be an expert to have an infinite time to review open source software for vulnerabilities, open source means nothing. Can you have backdoors? Can I have back? Yeah. Of course, the one I mentioned require you to install a proprietary app that prevents you from just downloading the video or recording its window. Yeah, that's terrible. On the proprietary part, yeah, I agree that you do have to, like, open source. I do not make the claim that open source is makes it more secure. It just makes it more transparent. I don't think open source is more secure. I think having more eyes on it do increase the chances of people doing the right thing, but it doesn't mean that it's by default better and more secure. But I think it is better and far off better than proprietary software where you have no clue, zero. What sounds better? A 1% chance of discovering it or a 0% chance of discovering? Zero, you have no option. That's the point. It's the lesser of two very bad situations. Open source is like the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? Mentality. And people, like, I wouldn't even consider open source just even evil in a sense, but I'm just, comparing it to a perspective. If somebody wants to come with me and be like, proprietary software or open source software? Open source. I have a higher chance of transparency. I have a higher chance of someone auditing it. I have a higher chance of people being like, hey, that doesn't look right. I could go learn the code myself and then figuratively check if I wanted to. That's the point of open source. I have the choice. I do not think it is more secure. I think it is just the better option if I had to pick, which I do. I do have to pick. I have to pick either proprietary software or open source software. That's what I dislike about Linux. A lot of what I need on Linux ends up coming up from small developers, people I don't know who they are, and I could never sue them if they sneak backdoors. That's retarded. That's such a retarded thing to even think about. Proprietary software tries to achieve security by obscurity. FOSS tries to achieve it by transparency. Yeah. There might be an argument for proprietary software if you have trade secrets and you want to make sure that you want to make money. Sure. If it's proprietary, at least you could sue the developers. Based on what? That's such a dumb way of looking at it. And that just because it's FOSS doesn't mean just because it's open source doesn't mean you can't sue the developers. I would never log into a bank account on Linux. Okay. I mean, I could just use a good secure browser and log into my bank account. Logging into your bank account on Linux or Windows doesn't mean anything. And them being open source doesn't get them away from getting sued. What are you like? You cannot be this retarded. ChatGPT makes code auditing more easier. I don't see it being a problem in the future. ChatGPT does make a problem with this because people takes from salvation. Yeah, that's like, I don't know, that's brain rot right there, but ChatGPT ChatGPT needs the right information to audit code. I think it's good for an internal tool to check stuff. I will tell you what this is called. It's called paranoia. Yeah, that's just paranoia. Linux is in itself, yes, out the gate, not secure as Windows. I'll admit that. But if you pick the right distro to a certain degree, you have a higher chance. Like I use QubesOS for that reason. QubesOS is probably the most realistically sane sounding, reasonably secure Linux. It's not even the Linux distro. It's an operating system because it's based off Zen hypervisor. And I also learned something very cool about it as well, is that it strips out a lot of the bloat from Zen itself to help reduce attack surface. It does their own patching to fix security issues faster. I don't see the problem with ChatGPT coming in and looking at your code and being like, hey, there might be a problem here. And hey, this somewhat works, but there's way better auditing tools in now that are getting better now than ever before. The person who does curl, they have their own tool and they have a set of rules on how to write good, secure software that is in C, which is notoriously known for being unsafe, unlike its counterpart Rust, which some people are saying if it's critical infrastructure, we should just write it in Rust would Rust solve everything? No, but it would solve the parts where people make mistakes, where they will run insecure software, like unsafe non-memory safe software. I mean, this is literally a thing now. Vibe coding. People are now vibe coding because somebody made money. I love this guy. This guy's funny. Programmers are also human is super funny. It's okay to be paranoid. Out now. Safe vibe coding on Replit. That's great. Replit launches powerful security and auth features for safer, more secure app development. Vibe coding, where to start? My tap vibe coding tools for... God, man. How embarrassing. Vibe coding tutorial for best practices, Cursor, Windsurf. What was Cursor for? Why does all boomers use this thumbnail? They like use their face and then they like have the thing next to them. The primetime boomer thumbnail. Programmers are also human is just a giant boomer channel though, but it's funny. Why vibe coding is not my future? Vibe coding made easy? That's just so weird. Maybe he found money. The 4.0 model is just as good as level principle. One pen. There's good def time. Most people can't solve 2 + 2 and shouldn't have the rights, much less to review. There's a good DEF CON talk in it. Most people can't solve 2 + 2 and shouldn't have the rights, much less to do a code review. I think look, I think that security is a scale. I have to get the whiteboard out. Security is a scale. So yeah, what do you want? Salvation? You want to say FOSS is unsafe? Fine. Proprietary software is even more unsafe? Don't use software. Touch grass. Literally. So security is a scale. That's just you have like on one side, you have, I'm going to use C for convenience, and I'm going to use S for security. Damn it. Where's my eraser? Can I back? Can I go back? Will this get rid of it? No. So it won't. No? No? Yeah. No. Oh. Damn it. How many of you reviewed code before each update in Graphene OS? I read the channel logs. I'm on alpha testing, so I read the code before it. I read what they're doing, but they're getting it directly from Google. Like all the Android updates and security bones are directly from Google, and then they apply their own patching and everything. I mean, it's a fork of the Graphene OS is a fork of Android, so it doesn't. Google could technically maliciously upload software, but they could just review it and be like, yeah, that doesn't look right, because they strip out a lot of things that Google does have. It's a matter of trust. How could you trust Graphene OS? Who are they? I've never seen a single developer from them. Have you seen the developer of Google? Have you seen the developers' faces of a lot of projects? Probably not. That doesn't mean shit. This is just like appealing to some weird thing where it's like, I've never seen, actually, the developers of Monero are completely anonymous, and Monero is trusted. And if Graphene OS had a massive security issue or a flaw that was very bad, somebody will eventually catch it. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be found within a reasonable time. Look at Polkit. Polkit security issue. This was an argument I made to all the stands that are like Linux opens. This is my argument against the people that are like open source means more secure. Means more secure. There was a security issue in Polkit command. This was like a thing that was like, I think, out for 5 to 10 plus years. What are you going to do with his face or his butt? This is boomer logic. Yeah, like who cares? Like what they look like. I don't give a shit. I don't care about having a team in front of me or not. Do the right thing. Open source is more transparent, and I think transparency is an important prospect. An important, not even prospect. To me, it's a requirement. I want transparency. There's proprietary software that I touch that I have to. I've seen the faces of a few people that pointed guns at me. That doesn't mean they're trustworthy. Yeah. Yo, did you at least call the feds on him, dog? Are you okay? There was like a security issue in Polkit that was around for a very long time in the Linux kernel, I believe, or somewhere in Linux, it was a massive problem. For years, people did not know. Well, it can be another Anon phone. Anon phone was a federal. People bring up Anon phone acting like it was just random people targeting random people. It was a federal investigation that was launched by a national security agency against specific people. This is just equating to a different level of threat that you and if you have this threat model, get off YouTube. If this is how you think, touch grass, get off the internet. I feel salvation is baiting us. It has to be. No one could be this. No, real people do think like this. I've met them. And it's no hate. Like, truly. But this is like people bring this up all the time, and it's like, all right, I'm not having this conversation. Like, I can't. Like, this person's just unreachable. It's fine. It's truly fine to think like this. If you think like that, shit. Don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I called the feds to tell them that RSA devs are holding me hostage. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't even... What amount of the internet still uses RSA? $51% of the internet. God damn. A recent data, nearly 51% still uses legacy RSA encryption algorithms to generate authentication keys. However, RSA remains widely used in various internet services and programs. For instance, over 90% of the internet connections being used RSA as part of the SSL handshake. Despite the prevalence of RSA, there's a growing trend towards elliptic curve cryptography due to the faster performance, smaller key size, which are more suitable for mobile devices. Interesting. Well, if it's an honest goodness phone, then they are doing an excellent job. I have it. The corporate boomers adhering to federal guidelines they don't follow, allegedly. But I don't trust anything that is too good to be true. It's okay, but that's the point. It's okay to not trust them based on a trustless ideology. It's okay to not trust software. That's what Cubes assumes. Graphene OS theoretically takes the Cubes approach. They assume, like, in their documentation, they talk about wireless networks. Like, if you have a cell phone provider, they assume that the networks can be compromised, and that in theory that you should not trust them. And that's true. That's a good approach. And hey, didn't you say you don't trust Linux and won't register a bank account using it? But we literally know how Linus Torvald and Richard Stallman look like. They not trust them. Well, also, if you're using Android, and this is just perspective, you're using Linux, literally. You're using the kernel. You're using a modified version, but it is. Some people argue that it's not Linux, but you are using the baseline kernel. That's in general. And it's fine. I think it's not good. I think it's good to not trust like certain things, like give little trust so you can give little permission so you can have maximum OPSEC, maximum security, maximum metadata retention, etc., etc. Those are good things to be aware of. But when you are just doing FUD is like pretty retarded. And I don't like to use the word FUD realistically because I think it's a little overused now, but you know, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? The whole point of open source software is that you don't have to trust anything, you know, which is under the hood. It's not the base OS, it's all the added shit I need to daily drive. Lots of small apps from many repositories. Can't even evaluate them all. The whole point of open source software is that you don't have to trust anything. You know what is under the hood. It's literally the problem with proprietary software is not FOSS. Well, not just that, but it's if your base OS is compromised and you don't trust your base, if your base OS is compromised, you're fucked anyways, you know what I mean? You should, the thing is, pick reputable software that's used by millions of people. That does give it some malice. Like, it gives some, I mean, merit. It gives it some merit. It's like somebody's had to go through this and be like, hey, like, here's a perfect example. Audacity. Audacity is used by millions of people. And when they got acquired by another company and people were going through the code, they're like, yeah, we don't like this. And forked it because they disagreed with some of the decision they made. That is something to like take into consideration. Whether now, fun fact, if you have an Intel CPU, you are probably fucked because the Intel management system is not. It's a tool. We know it's a tool. It's a tool that can be used, but it can be exploited. But you can neuter it, and if neutering it doesn't mean, I mean, VPNs were literally used for the simple fact of, damn, I'm really drawing all of these. The Viet Cong are in my repositories. Because AMD has the same problem. Bro, if this is actually your threat mode, you should become ever stoner the Obama. Intel is for NIFs. So don't give me any ideas. You guys can't say that word in here. It's illegal. The thing is, Intel sucks. I don't like Intel because I'm just an Intel hater. Yes, they do. Intel, dude, AMD has literally the same thing as Intel management system. Are you retarded? It's called PSP. Same thing. It's been criticized too. But again, these things, the Intel management system is a tool that was developed. At least it can be disabled from the BIOS in some boards. I don't know. It doesn't matter if it can or cannot. The point is that it exists. If it's all it is it's been criticized in the past as an attack vector, and I agree with that. It is an attack vector. It does exist. it is an issue to think about in an attack surface. But people overestimate it, overanalyze it, and I think it's also been you can relatively get easy ways to disable it. You lose some core functionality if you need help. And again, intentions was to be a tool in IT. So is a VPN. A VPN is literally a transfer of trust. You're transferring your trust to the VPN provider for God knows what government contracts they have. You don't know if they're being if your information is being siphoned out, you know what I mean? But it's a tool that can be abused. I mean, just like JavaScript. JavaScript is a tool. Sounds great on paper. It gives us cool, big titty animations, but it is a tool that is used to collect data and spy on people, and sell it. This is why, Tor's highest threat models, they're like disable JavaScript, because it is a way to compromise your privacy. Just like anything in the world can where it can. Has someone done a teardown of Google Pixel phones? They might have an amount of band management chip that communicates over the air back to the mothership. That's what for them. That's already been disproven. Like, you're bringing up information that's already been debunked. It's like reading like 5-year-old Reddit articles. And even if you yourself have to, bruh, we're on YouTube and discussing extreme OPSEC practices were clowns. Yeah, literally. I'm just saying it's clown behavior. The out of band management, people bring this up saying the phones have out of band management. They don't understand how our out of band managements work. They don't understand what second broadbands work at all. Just saying. This happens quite often. Somebody has pointed out that people think that, like, oh, if your phone's turned off, you can still be like traced and tracked, when you can't, because your phone's off. It's gonna have your last location, sure, but I don't know. I get heated when people bring this up, because they only come with like extreme FUD. Oh, damn it. The Intel ATM is OOB management chip. One thing at a time. And you can tear down the Pixel phone. Nothing stops anyone. Damn, I lost this one. Yeah, admit it, you're actually being baited. You're making a claim. You need the burden of proof, not me. When you make the claim of something, you have the burden of proof, not the people you're making the claim to. Again, this is something that has been already discussed, and people have already debunked it, that it makes no sense. People say relax, bro, when I'm just talking to them and I just have a stern voice. It's funny. They don't need any OBB chip, bro. Cell phones have Wi-Fi and LTE. Yeah. They can see the last location you're at. If you turn your phone off, They'll see the last location. And if you're super paranoid, again, waste of money, Faraday bag. Waste of money, by the way. Airplane mode literally does it. Airplane mode literally does what you need. It cuts off all signals. Look, if they even had an out-of-band, we can't be more relaxed. This is called logic. If you're claiming something, bring proof with you. If I were law enforcement, I would remotely activate the OBB chip on your Pixel and snap a picture of your face. What if it's turned off? Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it with extreme criminals? Why aren't they doing it with terrorists that are hiding? Why aren't they, you know what I mean? Like, people always bring up these insane things, but then the argument is like, well, law enforcement no good, government don't care, but they care about some stranger on the internet, and you know about it out of all people. Yeah, give me a break. It's actually autistic thinking. Let's see. Maybe they, okay. Here, we'll just make this a little bit easier. We'll just ban you from the chat. They don't announce it to the public. Oh, but you know. If you don't announce it to the public, how would you know? You're just making assumptions. It's like listening to a retard that thinks they know when they don't know. But they could be, maybe. It's like vague. Vague assertions with lack of burden of proof. Not to mention under screen cameras now. That's what I'm saying. Like vague. It's like funny when people like say they need proof for something and then they end up like being religious. It's like kind of funny. They just pull up your phone. Why do they need a picture? No, dude, straight up, all you had, I mean, the pager thing was actually kind of crazy. He deleted his message. Did you notice? Yeah, because, I don't know. Probably didn't take his meds today. I don't know. Seeing. I'm like looking to even if I can find something about this. Yeah, I liked that bait. They got him. They blew up his phone. It's been fun. Why did Wyclef have to leave? Makes claim, drops no proof. Says it's been fun, leaves. Uh-oh, guys. The CIA must be after him now. Gets on tour. Wait, hold on. This is what I look up when I'm on tour. And my thing is, like, I understand that, like, some of these things do exist and they're very extreme. Like Pegasus software, when you hear about that, you're like, that sounds crazy. And these zero exploits, the feds got to him. Yeah, probably. Like, when Pegasus exists and you're like, that is a violation of people's privacy and security, very real thing. We understand that it's a real thing. We understand that thing is not a good thing and it sucks. But it's being used on people that are worth like millions and millions of dollars, if not nation state actors. I mean, we understand that Salt Typhoon, they have probably compromised the telecommunications. Yeah, I know. I love the stuff Terry Davis used to say. Like, we know personally that a lot of these telecom providers have been compromised. That's not crazy to say. Like, these are like well-known things, and it is completely fine to be aware of it and find good protections in place. This is good. Banana. BANANA. Red. Damn, I can't spell, man. This is what you should be looking on Darknet is banana bread recipes. Non-Java. And I get why people think like this, but it's because they take, this is the kind of information they get this is where they get their information from. This is exactly where they go to. Oh yeah, I can't. Let me just do this real quick. JavaScript? Remember when Terry Davis emailed the CIA and said I'm King Terry the Terrible. I'm gonna kill the CIA? No. That's so funny. I mean, Terry Davis was obviously mentally ill and it's sad, but that's gotta be the funniest email to ever get, though. And then you find out he made Temple OS. I hope that email is saved somewhere in someone's hard drive forever. But then people get their information here. They're like, yes. Intelligence and military use of anonymous phones location data. Anomaly 6, what about the normal person? Your car movement tracked, and like Rob Braxman makes very simple, well-known things and then goes full schizoid. Brax 3, a new privacy phone that uses insecure hardware and a fork. Secret phone number. Here, I have a problem. I have an issue. Let me give you the solution. A pseudonym will not protect you without a plan. Privacy Masterclass Series 2. Quick solutions do not work. Are you in the forever database? What Apple and Google won't tell you? Saved by Linux. Be a subserve with Linux. We are under attack. Yes, use Linux that is slightly less secure to the average user. There's even an argument. There's even an argument that, you know, it's funny. He says this, but like he has a VPN company. It's just kind of funny. There is an argument. Where was I going with that? I got like way too high. Oh, yeah, there is an argument where you can put your stuff in the cloud if you do the encryption yourself, sure. And there is an argument to make that there is bad companies out there that don't have your best interest. And there's even an argument in the Linux space where I can definitely use Linux as safe as possible, but it's not going to be as good as probably like Windows or Mac OS out the door. But that's just my crazy opinion. I mean, having good OPSEC is probably super important, and I think people should and relatively do that. But then again, I'm just a hater. We just need a Rust-based operating system. And then we'll have perfect privacy and perfect security. A cube based on cubes, though. We need a cubes-based, Rust-based version, full Rust version of Cubes OS. That'd be awesome. Cubes OS team? I use smoke signals. That's racist. That is kind of crazy. People would just like kind of probably communicate with smoke. But what if someone knows what smoke signals you're fucking using? Like, what if they decrypt it? What is the signal version of smoke signals? I actually like doing there's something called the Reculum Network, and they have a way you can put your messages on a QR code, and that person has to have your encryption keys, but you can exchange messages via QR code. It's pretty cool. Switch to air horns. You mean like this air horn? Where's the guy that said AMD doesn't have similar software called PSP? I forgot where he went. He said no they don't, and then left. Yeah, big money. Why'd big money leave? You mean the YouTube channel Switch to Linux? Damn, yeah, I'm not wasting that on him. This guy is a FOSS fanatic. True. As you should be. Four. True free and open source. Damn it, I should have waited. No, I think free notes open source software is the option, man. It's just the move. Imagine being a proprietary fan. They're like, imagine being like the opposite of free and open source. You're like a proprietary advocate. Like you only enjoy proprietary software. That'd be crazy take, actually. No attacks. I mean, yeah, but you're not. But not you, the blog post writer in the link. The blog poster in the link. I don't remember. I don't know how far back I don't know how far my lag is in my video, so I honestly do not remember. No. I mean, true. Free and open source people use. Oh, wait. I lost. Here you are. Yeah, I dropped a blog post in there. Let me look at something. I'll come back to this and look at it. All right, guys. I smoked big doinks and I'm ready for big sleep, and I streamed way too long. That's the beauty. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see y'all. I'm a gamer, so this post offended me. Yeah, I dropped that link in the video. I'm about to end the stream, drop that link in the comment section. I'll read it. Though tomorrow, guys, LFS mentioned, we're gonna get it done. I appreciate everyone stopping by. Appreciate the conversation. And pee pee poo poo.